Oh, did you get the button?
Yep.
We good?
Good evening, my name is Mary Maslowski. I'm the chair of the Historic District and Historical Commission here in the town of Harwich. We are calling to order the meeting of Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. It is 6 p.m. The meeting is being held in the small hearing room at Town Hall, 732 Main Street. We're going to start with a roll call to open our meeting.
Bob Doan.
Lynn Zalazak.
Paul Doan.
Brendan Lowney.
Now, our first, before we get started, anybody in the audience wishing to audio or video record the meeting should notify the chair. Seeing none, we are opening the first public hearing. One of the applicant for the first public hearing is actually a board member, so Paul, Lynn, myself, and Bob Doan will be actually voting on that matter. The matter is HH 2025-20. Brendan Lowney, owner, has filed a notice of intent. The project proposes a partial demolition to remove an existing rear gable facade to accommodate a new addition. The structure is over 100 years old, according to the town assessing records, and is located at 25 Pleasant Lake Avenue, map 41, parcel A1-1. And this is continued from September 17th, 2025, when we did not have a quorum. Brendan, would you like to
Yes, good evening.
walk through your application for us?
Brendan Lowney for 25 Pleasant Lake Ave. Do an extension off the back of the house, so the only demolition is going to be off the back rear gable, where I'll be adding basement, first floor, second floor, so keeping all the lines and coming straight off the back. The example I've used, and if you're familiar with the Ford House on the corner of Main and Forest, how elongated that house is, it's the same look I'm going for, just keeping it straight. The drawings you have, I didn't highlight them, so I didn't want to mark them up, not to get you confused, but that is the extension off the back of the house, going straight back. Okay.
It's going, so it's going
Yep.
back away from the street.
Correct. And the best one to really look at is the front view. That little bump out at the bottom, that's what you're going to see from the street view.
Okay.
Of course, you have to look past the trees and everything else. Pretty straightforward, using all like materials. My house is all wood, so all the trim, I'll probably continue with the trim in wood, even the cedar on the siding as well. The windows would be the 400 series Andersons that are existing on the house. I'll be reusing a couple of them, but I'll stay consistent with all the same materials.
Okay. Bob, do you have any questions?
Yeah, show the picture again, what's showing from the street. It's very little, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
really bad,
mhm.
so there isn't much street view.
Most of the bulk of it is going straight off the back.
Yeah.
There's a little bump out.
So it's actually a bump out behind a bump out, is what
Correct.
it looks like.
Yeah, this is existing. This is the 1805 edition.
Yeah.
So the house is, I'm sorry, the house is 1850. This bump out is 1905.
Okay,
So that little bumps out there.
that's fine.
Lynn, any questions?
I see there's brick around the foundation, the
Mhm.
front part of the house. Is there any need for that or any brick facade on the area that's going to be
I most
seen?
likely will continue it around the house and then stop at the deck as it returns into the deck. The original house, the backside, there's no brick under the deck. It's just concrete block that was existing that I kept. But the brick that's there is original,
Mhm.
and I will probably add a veneer.
The only question I have.
Paul,
No questions.
anybody in the public have any questions or wish to see the plans that we were just shown? Seeing none, is the board ready to close the public hearing?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second the motion.
So Bob made a motion. Linda seconded. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries 4-0. And then, Bob, would you like to?
Do you have the paperwork?
Yeah, I should be here.
Yeah, this one, Bob, is fine.
Well,
I have it on top.
okay, I move. Case
Bear with
number.
me 1 second.
Okay.
I just want to find mine. Thank you. Okay.
I I move case number HH 2025-20, filing date August 1st, 2025, date of hearing September 17th, 2025. And do I?
And
have-
October,
And
and today.
October,
Mhm.
15th, is it?
Yep.
2025. Property is 25 Pleasant Lake Avenue, map 41, parcel A1-1. Owner of record with the Town Assessing Department, Brendan Lowney, agent same. Recording information, book 28125, page 331. Subject building built in 1850. Sources the Town Assessing records. Demolition proposed partial. The project proposed a partial demolition for the removal of the existing rear gable facade to accommodate a new addition. Historic significance. It is listed in the town property inventory. Let's see. Proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish the historic values against the subject's buildings. Determination. No demolition delay period imposed. Conditions, are there any that we need to add?
I think only if you want to require the brick veneer.
Yeah, brick veneer will be on the site visible from the street.
On foundation.
On the foundation, yes.
Okay, so condition is brick veneer on foundation of new addition visible from the street. So
Second the
motion's been made by Bob, seconded by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
All right. All right, okay, so Bob needs to leave this evening. Thank you for being here
Thanks,
to
Bob.
give
Appreciate
us a
that.
quorum,
Thank you.
for that matter. The next item on the agenda is HH 2025-21. The Town of Harwich owner through their agent Ashley Symington, Town of Harwich Director of Youth and Family Services, has filed a certificate of appropriateness. The project proposes the use of temporary non-permanent sign to be used for the purpose of marketing programs at this location. The structure is in the historic district and over 100 years old according to the Town Assessing records and is located at 728 Main Street. Map 41, parcel B8. Come on forward, please. Just figure out where I am here. Thanks for coming in, Ashley.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, if you could just talk to us about your application.
Absolutely.
And what you're looking to use.
Sure. So I'm Ashley Symington. I'm your Director of Youth and Family Services. And what I'm looking to do is an additional avenue for marketing different programs and resources that are offered to the community using a temporary sign that would be placed out front of Albro House on the street side. It would be, I'd probably place it right adjacent to the permanent sign that is out front of the building. It would be temporary, so it would be moved inside when it's not in use.
All right, it looks like you've got a couple of different options.
Yes, I wasn't sure, so the first option that's in there is one that has removable lettering. That sign is my first choice, but I wanted to give you a couple of options in case one was preferred over the other. The swinging sign, which is the first option, has a base that can be filled with water or sand, which makes it more stable in the wind that we have here. Also less likely to wander compared to the A-frame sign that is also there. The swinging sign has the option of removable lettering, which is probably what I would use most often. However, it also has the option of putting a chalkboard panel on it, which I might use for some of the art therapy programs that are offered.
Okay. Paul, you want to start? Any questions?
A couple, I guess. So your preference is this version?
Yes, sir.
First, I applaud you for coming to the Historic District this evening.
Welcome.
There's too many signs occurring in the Historic District that have never been approved by this commission, as far as I know. And the plethora of signage is, to me, disturbing. There are signs going up, stuck in the ground, that people don't approve of. I don't necessarily say they have I don't believe they're permitted anyway. I don't know whether the library ever got approval to put their sign up. And so I'm kind of bothered by just, unfortunately, you get the penalty for
Yep.
being the kind of person who comes before the commission, as all people should in the historic district. So first let me ask, when you say you're going to remove the sign when it's not in use, can you expand on that a
Sure,
little bit?
absolutely. So the majority of my programs are offered during the school year. I do offer one in August and one in July.
Okay.
So if there's not a program that's being marketed or advertised for, I would take the sign and bring it inside and store it in Albro House.
And I didn't quite understand, it looked like you said you're going to place it between the existing sign and the sidewalk. Is there
Yes.
really enough room
There
there?
is, yes.
And what is the CPC sign that's out there flapping in the wind?
That's a great
Why
question.
is that there?
I don't have an answer to that question.
I can tell you why it's there, because the CPC put up some signs to raise public awareness of where some of the CPC monies have been.
I know, but did the CPC ever come before
probably
this
not.
august body?
Probably not.
And I think it's a terrible sign. The Harwich Conservation Trust can put up an attractive sign saying we supported financially this purchase of land. They've got these cheap signs stuck in the ground.
CPC is working on figuring out what a
But CPC
whatever
should come
placement-
before this commission.
I don't disagree, and we actually had that conversation at the last meeting. So,
So take the CPC sign down and I'll vote to put up your sign.
Okay.
Because that one shouldn't be there. And I go around and pick up the signs that I know shouldn't be on the historic district. And that's one I haven't touched yet, but I'll ask you to do it because I'm
we have a
bothered.
CPC meeting tomorrow night. We will address it then.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
I'm bothered by that. I'm bothered by the unattractiveness of the signage. One of the things that we have, I guess you've looked at
Yes.
page 32 of our workbook, a handbook here, says it's generally inappropriate to introduce or maintain internally illuminated signs, plastic signs, flashing signs, or portable signs in the historic district. So I think this signage covers at least 50% of those unallowed or discouraged signage. I hate to be critical against an organization that financially I'm sure I personally support and have supported. But I'm troubled by this. I applaud you for coming in. I'll probably hold my nose and vote yes, but I do ask you to be vigilant or diligent about taking the sign in when it's not in
Sure.
use.
So can I ask a question? You said it can come with chalkboard as well on that one.
Yep, correct.
I'm just wondering how this board would feel about chalkboard most of the time and then plastic in the wintertime. I'm only saying because I do appreciate the fact that the weighted sign in a windy fall or a wintertime when she's gonna have programs might actually be beneficial.
Problematic, yeah.
Well, I think at least if it's weighted, the
Yeah.
other wooden sign isn't weighted, and unless it's physically stuck in the ground, it might cause more of a hazard than not, and that's my only thought. Paul, I agree with you, and I applaud again Ashley for coming in because nobody ever does, and
Right.
Brooks Park, the whole stretch, and CPC included. I'm sure never gave it a thought when they were putting up the signs. All that being said, while I do like the wooden sign better, I do also worry that it's going to get knocked over more than it might stand up. So throwing that out there for board members for thoughts. Lynn, any thoughts?
Well, like you, I prefer the other sign because it's more historically appropriate. However, knowing our weather, especially what we've just had,
Right.
the weighted sign would be more realistic.
Mary, this sits with us even though it's not a fixed item.
Yes, because it's signage in the historic district, yes. Yes, because we've had these conversations about some of the temporary activities at Brooks Park that, never seem to come before us and probably should.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is appropriate that Ashley is here, and it is, as Paul said, ironic that she's the one person that's trying to comply.
Yeah.
We're, somewhat giving her a hard time over it. So,
I have one final question,
yes,
Madam
Paul.
Chair. What's the possibility of when you do start putting these signs up, or the letters in the signage, what is your plan there? Is it a common color, or is it
So the
multicolors?
no. So the colors available are red and black. So I am a little bit limited in terms of what colors I could use, and that is open. I think most often it would be the black lettering that I would use most consistently.
I think if you could make it as effective in terms of getting a message out,
Yes.
but ineffective in terms of alerting people to the existence of the sign,
Yes.
if that's
Yes.
possible.
Yep.
So I think a common color would be our preference, or my preference anyway. Okay.
I'm just curious, this picture with the white sign looks like, are they slide-in letters
I believe that they slide into.
as opposed to the other, the chalkboard?
Yes, so-
Sometimes the chalkboard is slide-in, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's magnetic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the exact affixing method for the
Yeah.
chalkboard that can be attached to the swinging
Yeah.
sign. I'm sorry, I did not look at that
That's
component.
okay. I'm just wondering if they're magnetic, it might be slightly easier. But any other questions from those of us here? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, is the board ready to make a decision?
So moved.
So we'll motion to close the public hearing, been made by Lynn. Is there a second?
Second.
Brendan. All those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries for nothing. And would somebody like to do the decision?
Case number HH 2025-21, filing date August 1st, 2025. Hearing date October 15, 2025. Address 728 Main Street, map 41, parcel B8, town of Harwich. Applicant Ashley Symington.
Mhm.
Thank you. Book 9770, page 17. The MACRS number is HRW 35, certificate of appropriateness. Project is to have a temporary non-permanent sign be used outside the building to market programs. The sign will have removable lettering. Findings, certificate.
Did you want to include that it's, or
I was
it
gonna
could
put
be
that in
a-
the conditions, but
Okay.
if you want to do that, it doesn't really
Nope,
matter.
that's fine.
Certificate of appropriateness, proposed construction or alteration will be appropriate. Determination approved, no comments, conditions. I guess we'll describe that. Be the swinging sign with the removable letters consisting of plastic. Measurements 24 by 36.
Which is right. Swinging sign with removable letters, size 24 by 36. And anything else? Did you want chalkboard or plastic or both?
What would be the preference?
I tend to
Can't
prefer,
vote for this, I'm sorry, but I don't know what, do we need 4 votes?
we do.
I might, can we wait till Bob comes back?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, because it's been pushed off since September.
Yeah, I
So-
think I
Why don't
voted
you make the call? and-
postpone
we
until
close
the
the
next
public hearing.
session. I think we need to stop this. The church is violating it, the library's violating it.
So that's two different, so due respect, it's two different questions. We can
I agree,
We
I
can
hate to
s-
punish this.
We can send letters out to people that have not come before us. My personal recommendation would be to use chalkboard when available, and to use uniform coloring on the lettering, preferably black or white, when possible. That would be my preference.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
Um,
All right,
compromise.
so black and white. So we're saying 2 different signs?
I
We're
think
gonna take
chalkboard
the
when,
CPC sign out of there.
whenever possible. Paul, I'm taking care of CPC tomorrow, don't worry. If she can get it with both, then I think there's gonna be times where the chalkboard might not be practical in the middle of winter, but that's just trying to give her options, cause again, we're trying,
I would agree, I think chalkboard is a better
at least the chalkboard would portion of it.
fit than those uglies.
So why don't we say with the chalkboard insert, and then if the chalkboard is not practical for you in the wintertime, give us a call and we'll put you on an
I have a
agenda.
guy out there with a sandwich board standing on there.
It's not a banana flag, so, I mean,
My budget, my department budget is very small. That's not something I can do.
I'll do it for nothing.
so swinging sign with removable letters, size 24 by 36 with chalkboard insert.
Sure. We just want to get it right. We don't want Paul taking down your sign and getting trespassed,
And-
from town property, so.
And is the board's preference to say consistency with lettering, either white or black?
Yes.
Yes.
This is an awful baptism for your first effort before a town committee, is that right?
Oh, no, I've been before the select board and
Okay.
finance committee
Okay.
before for town budget purposes, so no, that's all right,
All
but
right.
thank you.
Sorry to be so
Okay.
problematic.
So we have a motion that's been made by Brendan.
I'll second the motion.
All right. Thank you, Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Thanks for coming in,
Thank you.
Ashley. We
Appreciate your
appreciate it.
time.
Okay. next matter on our agenda is HH 2025-25. It's Glenn Cashin and Melinda Cashin, owners, have filed a notice of intent through their agent Kroll and Donovan Law LLC. The project proposes a partial demolition to demolish the existing garage and and to demolish an existing bath and laundry addition at the back of the property to be replaced with a larger addition. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessing records and is located at 13 Silver Street. This is 13 Silver Street, okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for coming in tonight. Would you be so kind as to walk us through your
Sure.
application?
So first, I'm Michael Donovan from Philadelphia Law, for the record. I'm gonna sign in.
Sign
Yes,
in, I
please.
think. Yeah.
I probably failed to ask people to do that.
What's my line? Enter and sign in.
Okay, so yes, the Cashins, we spoke, Mary, they live in New York, so they couldn't make it.
Okay,
No, it wasn't for lack of interest, that's for sure.
understood.
They have a Greek revival house that was built sometime in the 1800s, and there was an addition, it looks like 2 additions, like we don't have the dates of those. To the left of it is a single-story addition, and then on the back was a laundry and bath area that was added on at some point as well. And then there's a garage behind the house, a little bit off-center to the left, the end of the driveway comes up from the left of the house. And so the Cashins they want to make this their full-time residence, so they're trying to do 2 things. One, make the garage usable, because right now it's not usable, it has no foundation to it, it's kind of falling apart. And number 2 is they want to reconfigure the inside on the first level to make a larger area in the back, get rid of the laundry and bath, and make that part of the kitchen area, both the eating and dining area. And then above, they want to add a second story on that back half of the house to make a primary bedroom suite for themselves. So from the street, the main portion of the house is not being changed. The door, the bump out window, the windows upstairs are all the same. To the left of the main house is what's a single story now, what's that, a door and 4 windows. That area is remaining the same. But in the back portion of the house is where they're looking to enlarge and put a new foundation in for where there was that kind of long rectangle in the back where the bath and laundry area is, and then also make that 2 stories along with the back portion of the house. So that front portion is still gonna be 1 story, it's kind of like a sunroom, and then the back portion will now be 2 stories tall. And they're looking to, match, they're using a company called Full Circle Homes, which is a restoration kind of home boutique builder that has a TV show on HGTV, Houses with History, and so they do a lot of these older houses and try to keep them with the same kind of look to those.
So we're looking at the revised building plans.
The front page is the existing,
Okay.
and then on exhibit, or EX2, I think it's not the greatest label, the second to last page.
You skipped it. Maybe you don't have it.
Yeah, you have it EX0 and EX1.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
2.
but then towards the end, second to last.
And F1. Oh, there it is. It's buried
Oh, it's
in the
buried.
wrong place. Okay.
So you can see there, the main house looks the same, the porch area, the sunroom in the beginning looks the same, but then that second level is what's gonna look different from the street. And again, they're using similar windows with the panes in there.
So putting a level
And-
above the garage.
And then that's also the garage in the back
Mhm.
is a separate issue, which is a full demolition and a rebuild. So I was just talking about the house for right now, that
Yep.
from the front, it's gonna look the same, but with a second story on the back half of the house. And then from the side view, you can again see where that will look a little bit different, where that's gonna be the 2 stories as well on the back portion.
Okay.
And so that's the house, and then the garage is A3-1, so just in front of that page is what the new garage is gonna look like. 2-car garage with an ADU above it. Again, with garage doors that mesh in, clapboard like the house has for the siding on those, windows with the similar panes on those.
What's the number on that one?
It's the one right before, the page before. So 831. There you go.
Let's see. So the west is what we're seeing from the street, or partially seeing from the street.
The west portion of it.
The west portion is
Yeah.
what we're seeing.
Correct. Yeah, so you just, from the street, you kind of just see that side, that one
Mhm.
door there, from that side.
See probably the part, half of the garage,
Yes.
it looks like. Okay. Brendan, you want to start with any questions?
Yeah, question on the garage. That's gonna be bigger than the existing footprint?
It is, yes.
So are they moving it to 20 feet, or they're gonna be able to keep it,
They're gonna be able to keep it there because it's pre-existing,
It's pre-existing.
non-conforming, yeah.
the only issue I can see is the roof pitches from the original house to the little gable above on the front. Pitches are slightly off, but other than that, that's my only concern. Just not the same pitch, but other than that. And does the Gale case apply here on garages?
Yeah.
Is that the case you, okay, just
It
curious.
does, yeah, no, that wasn't sure until the town attorney gave an opinion
Oh,
on that
okay.
just a few months back, yeah.
Interesting, okay.
But I just, walk me through again which pitch you're talking about,
So if you look at the front of the house?
the new,
Yeah, so go to,
yep,
EX2?
EX2, yep.
so this original pitch and this pitch are different.
Oh, yes, I see what
It's
you're
an
saying.
aesthetics
Yep,
thing, but you know, if
right.
this was higher, but he's breaking the ridge, I get it. So whether he could pitch that down more and get the pitches the same, I'm sure that changes
Okay.
everything in there, but that would be something I would recommend, but
Thank you.
You're talking on this triangle above the
Correct.
triple window. If
Correct.
if that was spread wider, it would match the
right.
angle
Yeah.
of the triangle.
I mean, it's slight, but it's, you know, whether it's a 5 to a 6 pitch, but it's definitely off a.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the elevations, the way they're drawn, without seeing the exact pitch. Let me see if he's got it in the back here.
I didn't see anything that referenced it.
I just want to see if it affects any of the interior. I'm just sure there's a reason why he did that. Anyways, that's fine.
Okay. Lynn, any questions?
No, he hit the thing that caught my eye.
Paul?
Just a couple of questions, I guess. One is, first, I applaud the efforts here to improve this house. It's commendable.
Yeah.
I'm totally behind plan here. Just a couple of questions. So one is, so is the garage going to become a livable, habitable space, the second
The
floor?
second floor is, yes.
So there's a bedroom and a bathroom up there.
Yep.
And what are we doing about increasing bedrooms overall? Is that not an issue here? You're going from like 2 presently, is that right? To
Well, that's not our
4
purview.
maybe?
I don't know,
okay.
but yeah,
Well, I'm
they're
just
gonna- if
curious.
they're gonna add a bedroom, they'll need to have the septic capacity to do
Right.
it or change it, yeah.
I just wondered if they were aware of that issue.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other question.
Because we're gonna need to go to ZBA anyways, and so it's
Yeah.
gonna get all vetted through the system, yeah.
The other question was about this circular thing on the back. It has nothing to do with the visibility, but.
Of the garage?
So this is a sort of for safety purposes or access to the second
Two
floor?
means of egress, yeah, once
So
it
you're going up
becomes an
inside the
ADU.
building and also.
And also around and on the outside, yeah.
Okay, I guess that's as neat as you can make it. And, I mean, it's a wonderful property. The fact
Yeah.
that you're preserving the 1815 building
Yeah.
is commendable.
Yeah, they're very into
Yeah.
doing that and went around and found this builder that they felt
I don't
good.
know the architect or the contractor, but I'm pleased to hear that he's sensitive to historic values.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
great.
So we're still in the public hearing. Anybody in the audience that has any questions? Seeing none. Is the board ready to close the public hearing, or do you still have questions?
I move to close.
Second the motion.
All right. Lynn's made a motion to close the public hearing. Paul has seconded. All those in favor of closing?
Aye.
Aye.
Brendan?
Aye, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm looking at something else.
Any in
sorry.
opposition? Motion carries. And then, Brendan, did you want to take a stab at that?
Yeah, sure, kind of put that aside. Case number HH2025-25, filing date September 9, 2025, hearing date October 15, 2025. Property is located at 13 Silver Street, map 10, parcel 10, T10. Glenn and Melinda Cashin are owners, agent Kroll and Donovan Law, LLC. Book 35107, page 169, year built, 1812. Description of work, the project proposes a partial demolition to demolish the existing garage and existing bath and laundry addition at the back of the property and to be replaced with a larger addition. The historical significance, it is listed on the town's historical property inventory. The building, wait a second, am I missing part of this?
Next page.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing the,
You're not. I think they made some changes to it
oh,
and it kicked it over. So it's either the building is historically significant or it's not.
yeah, okay.
And then on the next page,
Yeah, they
it's the
changed that.
demolition. Yeah.
The proposed demolition would not disturb, essentially diminish the historical value or significance of the subject building. Oh, they just moved it. I got you.
Yes.
Sorry. A determination, no demolition delay period imposed. Conditions, I would love to see the roof lines, kind of, the pitch be corrected. And it may already be done in his drawings, I just can't see it. And then also with the rate returns as well. So I'll reference the page so there's no confusion. So conditions on EX2. Left front gable. To have same pitch. As original. right front with similar rake returns,
What are they?
little rake returns.
R-A-K-E.
Yeah, yeah. Little bird's nest returns.
Okay, so we have a motion that's been made by Brendan, and I have somehow lost my,
I'll second the motion.
bear with me.
You get what I'm
just a
asking.
second.
Yep.
This pitch. And then the returns just match what's existing, and I'll bring it all together.
To match this, you're saying?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
return.
Right.
So a motion's been made by Brendan. Do we have a second?
Second the motion.
Paul seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you.
welcome. Let me sign this before I forget. I've been known to do that.
We got two okay ones today.
You're not going anywhere.
I wish they were all as good.
It's not moving. All right. The next matter on our agenda is HH 2025-26. Mary Tersch, trustee, has filed a notice of intent through their agent, Crowell & Donovan Law, LLC. The project proposes a full demolition of the dwelling. The structure is over 100 years old, according to the town assessing records, and is located at 26 Woodland Road, map 7, parcel G6-0. Hello again.
Hello again, yes. Still Michael
Sign
Donovan
in.
from Crowell & Donovan Law.
No.
Check,
Is your
check.
identity on us yet?
And Mary Church, it's pronounced church.
Church,
like the
sorry.
Sunday church.
I
I know
should
it's
have known
very,
that.
very hard to know that's in the,
No,
in
I
our
should have known
husband
that.
Paul. So we filed this kind of in an abundance of caution because we don't think that there's jurisdiction here. We don't think it's over 100 years old. As I look at the regs, the phrase is a building constructed prior to 100 years before the present calendar year. So.
So it would be a 1924 building and not a 1925.
1924. Yeah, and then I also put a PowerPoint in there that we don't even think it was built in 25. We think it was 26 or
I
27.
move we pass on this matter.
Okay. We're in a public hearing, so I just want to keep us consistent. Nobody here has any questions? Anybody in the public have any questions? Seeing none, we will entertain a
What
motion to,
about jurisdiction?
we'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second? Wynn has made the motion, Paul has seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none. And then we do have,
Yeah, how do we motion
Is-
that?
so I actually think we're, just as food for thought, I think it is, we can certainly vote the no demolition delay imposed, but also put in a caveat that we do not believe the building is part of the historic inventory
Mhm.
on the 100-year list.
That would be great.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Aye.
Right.
Brendan, you
And
want to?
when we get to 10, historically significant, it'll be none.
Yeah, and I think you can put the caveat in that we believe it's less than 100 years old and not covered by the bylaw, if that makes sense.
Sure. Case number HH 202526, filing date September 9th, 2025, hearing date October 15, 2025, 26 Woodland Road, map 7, parcel G60. Owner on record, Mary Church. Agent, Crowell & Donovan Law. Recording information, book 14612, page 27, year built, 1925. Demolition proposed, full, description of the work is full demolition of dwelling. Historical significance, the building is not historically significant. Proposed
Do
demolition,
you want to put a caveat in there?
you want to put it in there?
Yeah, I would.
The board believes that the house or the 1925 date is incorrect? Or
Even if it's 25, it's not
I would
over
say
100
that it's
years.
not covered
Right.
by the, I
Yeah,
would say
yeah.
that it's not covered by the
it's not
bylaw.
covered by our,
Bylaw.
not covered, yeah. Not covered by our bylaw. Proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish the historic value or significance. Determination, no demolition delay period imposed with no conditions.
So got a motion been made by Brendan. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Paul has seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
These filed in perceived interest of difficulty?
No,
Okay.
Oh,
not that well organized. Thanks.
all right.
I'll join you for this one.
Yeah. Need some company up.
How are you?
They do.
All right, so the next matter on our agenda. HH 2025-27, Mark Watson, trustee, has filed a notice of intent through his agent, Kroll and Donovan Law, LLC. The project proposes a partial demolition to demolish the existing detached garage and reconstruct, and to demolish the rear first-story addition to reconstruct. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessing records and is located at 16 Schoolhouse Road, map 14, parcel F4-B. All right.
All right, so I'm still Michael Donovan from Kroll and Donovan Law. I'll let you know when that changes. But now with me is Tim Zubak from Patrick Ahern Architects, who's put together this fine PowerPoint here and this design for this. So he's here to answer any questions that you may have in the question period. This is a historic building, and so there's not a question on that. It is the Harwich Port Schoolhouse. As the PowerPoint says, there were several schoolhouses in the different villages. This one was built 1870s time period. The initial building itself, which is the two-story main building you can see from the street. And then it was moved to its present location in 1960, it appears. The additions on the back, they were kind of what appears to be multiple additions, as I'm told by Tim and his associate, that are single story in the back that were not well built. Some of them were actually built on deck foundation that they built up on. Some of them have little to no foundation and they're in tough shape. In addition to that, there's a two-car garage to the right of the main building that is likewise not in good condition. It's not usable at this point. It's open to the weather. And so the concept here is to maintain and preserve the main house that was built in 1870. You can see from the PowerPoint, the only kind of change really is moving the door from the far right of it over a little bit more towards the center of it, but keeping the same kind of front look of it all, but putting clapboard on the front. Right now there's cedar shingles that have been painted that are not in good shape. The other sides have cedar shingles and still will, that will be, natural and allowed to weather. So the garage, starting with the garage, as I said, that's in bad shape. That's going to be knocked down and rebuilt with livable space, or what I should say is finished space on the second floor. It's not an ADU, but it's recreational space on the second floor of that. And I don't know which page it is here. It would give you the look of the new garage. Is gonna have, again, two garage door openings with windows above, which is what they have now. The windows are a little bit different. I would say an improvement on what was there. On that, it's similar size and location of what it's gonna be. It's almost in the exact same spot on the lot. And then in the back, you looked at the photos, you can see the back is just one story. Again, not in good shape. And that's gonna be replaced, again, with a one-story, smaller footprint. If you look at page 8, it has the one-story addition and then a patio next to it. That's kind of now almost all that area is a building. So that's gonna be a smaller one-story addition. There'll be a deck on the top of that, and so you'll be able to exit from the second floor of the house onto that, and then there'll be stairs from that down. Again, this is all in the back of the building, not what you can see from the front of the building, where the driveway is, which, as you probably know, is where kind of the municipal parking lot is. This is all in the back of that. And then to the left of the front of the house, the existing has this crazy kind of staircase down from the second floor with a built-in ladder from the third floor down into that staircase. That's all gonna be removed now because we have the access off this back portion now with some nice stairs next to that one-story addition. So it will clean up that whole side. Page 12 shows there where the windows are gonna be the same period pieces with the grids in them, but it will get rid of all of that ugly stairway and ladder and all of that.
Yeah, so your stairway is gonna come out the side as opposed to out the back.
It's gonna come out, no, it's gonna come out the back. Right, this is the side now where these
Right,
stairs
right,
are.
right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. The bell tower is staying, nothing's being done with that. So, all told, it's, you know, it's gonna be a massive improvement on the house overall, and it's gonna keep the front in a better looking, and it's gonna make that side, which is the side that you see where that ugly staircase is now, will be gone, and it will clean that all up. And, you know, Patrick Ahern is a well-known architect that's, you know, to be given direction to preserve the building and make it look a period piece, but not falling apart. I think that's it. Well, obviously, any questions you have, happy to answer.
Brendan, you wanna start?
Just for clarity, you know, I think we can fix this as we go. The whole exterior is gonna be renovated, correct?
Correct.
On the materials.
Yep.
You have that in one of the descriptions, but your brief description of work doesn't include anything about the renovation of the whole building outside of just the demolition portion.
Right, but, and that's, I think, a clarification for us.
Yeah,
So,
we can fix that.
so removing the shingles and replacing it with clapboard is actually
Part of the demolition.
part of the,
Yeah.
considered
Yeah.
demolition
That's
for
what you're
us,
saying. Yep.
under the way that the bylaw is written, so.
Sure.
I think you're covered with the way it was advertised.
Yep.
Um,
And you
so
do
I
have
don't
it
think
here,
it's a
the
problem.
existing original structure is to remain the same on foundation with interior and exterior renovations. So we'll just
Yeah.
want everyone to know that, that's all.
Mhm.
Other than that, no, it looks great. I mean, it looks fantastic. I like everything about it. I've seen your plans before. Usually they're about 100 pages, so it's kind of nice to get a nice, you know,
Yeah, it
pages
is.
you can manage, but
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Lynn, any questions?
Yeah, the schoolhouse basically had a set design. And if you look, for example, at the West Harwich Schoolhouse, it has the same exterior design. The door is in the exact same place that this one is. That does kind of mess with the history of the building by moving the door, so that is a concern for me.
Okay.
And also, the bell tower is not original. I don't know if you were aware of that or not.
Yeah, we knew in the photo, back when the historical photo, it wasn't
So if you
there.
were thinking about removing that, I would have no problem
Okay.
with that, because that would also bring it back to more of its original,
Okay.
um,
Yeah,
Look.
I think in terms of the bell tower, the client liked it, we liked it. The thought was to make it, to renovate it as needed. It's a little bit kind of rotting out on certain sides, and so the intent was to, replace the siding on it, but we're not attached to it. We do like it, but.
yeah, because the bell tower was added in the sixties when the building was moved back, and it was
Mhm.
actually, it's had a very interesting history since that time. It was used as housing for workers for Thompson's Clam Bar, which were
Mhm.
Harbor Club in the sixties and the early seventies.
Mhm.
I know, because I used to drive the bus to pick them up.
See, it's fascinating because we, obviously, we're really intrigued with the structure and the history of the property, and there really wasn't a lot of information to pull from.
Well, this
On our
is it the second schoolhouse built or the first schoolhouse built?
It's probably the second. I think the first one's right up here.
Yeah,
There's one
that's what I
Pleasant
thought.
Lake, but that's no longer
Yeah.
there.
Right.
Mhm.
Each
This is
village
the second. I think it's the second or third.
had their
yeah.
own schoolhouse.
But each village had its own elementary school.
Yeah.
Paul, any questions?
I do have a couple of questions. This is, generally I'm supportive of the proposal here, so I don't want to appear to be in my usual argumentative approach here. But I do have some concerns, and I think to pick up on Lynn's point, it's well made. It's my concern that you are changing. Tell me why we need to move the door for the first, but then I have a
Yeah.
suggested solution here.
Sure, and I can walk you through our thought process.
Yeah.
And the first being that the entryway does need to be replaced. Just to start, it is in a rotting state. It does need some work done to it, and it does also. So the overall architectural style of the house is a Greek Revival. That overhang itself is a Italianate style.
Right.
So there's some conflicting styles to the house. So
Not
given the
unusual,
opportunity,
right? Not unusual.
not unusual.
Yeah.
No, not unusual. Given the size of the house, it was an opportunity to take a
Yeah.
second look at that entryway. By moving the door, obviously it does help the interior layout of the house.
Right.
And how you flow through the connection, so that is an important piece of the pie. But it also, when you look at the front elevation, it was also a way to balance the proportions of the structure. So we were delicate and thoughtful in terms of keeping it within the same rhythm and pattern, and then replacing the existing entryway with a matching window. So from our perspective, it was a way to not only better the flow of the interior portion of the house and still maintain architectural, similarities between the trim, but still maintain that rhythm. And I appreciate your point.
Well, how about, I think as an architect, there's the ability to kind of take this and use it. I understand by putting it more in the middle, you've got the ability to kind of
Yeah.
turn right and left as
Yeah.
opposed to just turn left here, but
Yeah.
maybe that's a little question for the architects to kind of work out. That, to me, that's where your skill is brought to bear. But I have kind of a compromise here of how about, rather than putting on this thing that looks somewhat like maybe upscale Pennsylvania, how about putting the same door frame and framing design as a replacement for this?
In terms of taking that same
Why not?
overhang detail.
This is a much more attractive and historically authentic
Yeah.
a representation that if you're going to be bastardizing this temple, really, this treasure, this town historic property, maybe at least, and I wouldn't even ask you to replicate, I'd ask you to move the framing that's on that building to your desire to have the door in the second section there. What about that as a,
Yeah, I mean, I think,
it would buy my vote?
yeah, I mean, we,
And you need my vote.
yeah.
So Paul, can you, for me, because I'm having a hard time
Yeah, same here.
picturing
Yeah.
what you're
I want
asking.
them to move, if they're gonna move the door to the second window rather
Yeah.
than where it was, that they use the framing, they use the design, they use the door that existed as the door, not this one that looks like it could be in Fairfax County, Virginia, on a contemporary 7-column, 2-story.
So you'd actually prefer the old Italianate overhang?
Yeah, so Paul, you're looking to keep that 2.5-foot overhang with the corbels and the pediment on top?
I am, yeah.
Really?
Which would have been a later,
Well,
Victorian
it's
add-on?
on the property.
yeah.
But I don't
Historic.
know that it's original to the property.
Well, it's more original than this.
Hmm.
I can't
I
say it
gotta-
isn't original, but I think you have a better shot that it is original. I don't think, I mean, he's even commented that it has an Italianate flair, and that's clearly in that category.
It is a cleaner.
I have a
Look.
second question though, before we get
You
off.
think
on
the way it is now, you think is cleaner
Well,
than the,
The top upswing, yeah, you can do without that, but just the way that is a cleaner look. It's more classic to the design than the,
It's appropriate. I mean, it's in keeping with the building.
I have to go with him on this.
Are-
The new design kind of reminds
You're
me of
losing
something you'd see
votes.
on a federal house
Would you
instead of
be
on.
opposed to that, keeping that overhang with the corbels?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Very similar to, what's that, Ruggles, you know, that
Yeah,
little
I'm-
drop down.
I'm thinking through it. I mean, our goal is to celebrate the house, and I definitely agree with your comments to a certain extent. You know, I will say that the proposed design, I will say that that is a common pilaster, pediment, cornice detail that you'd find around town on some ships, captain's houses. It's a very classic New England
Wow.
Greek Revival entryway.
Yeah,
That
but this
comment.
isn't a captain's house. This
No,
is a
it's not.
schoolhouse.
It's not. No, I agree.
So let's
I agree.
get it
I
back
think,
to.
I think that, yes, I think that we can, I will say that it will probably not be able to be moved, it's in poor condition.
But
At
it
that
could be
point, we could
replicated.
replicate it. Would you be open to a different roof design, in the sense of the roof piece over the overhang?
I
If
would.
we work in a corbel detail, and remove, the more Victorian flair to the house, where that would be, that element, to us is really the only piece that's like that on the property.
So you want to get rid of the Victorian
No.
detail?
The Victorian detail,
Maybe
Part
my
right here.
colleagues,
I think Five Bells Neck, the West Harwich School, they kept the corbels. They
Mhm,
kept
they
that
did.
style. They cleaned it up though, it wasn't as
Right.
detailed, but they did keep it.
so I
It's
guess,
not-
Did it
Not
have
my
this piece on the
preference.
top, Brendan?
Originally, no.
Not a pediment, they had a tough time with that roof line, I think they're gonna redo it, but,
Yeah.
they don't have that heavy pediment on top now.
and I do know that a lot of older schoolhouses like this, they would have two doors, and that's why they're in the corner, so you would have actually two of them, and you would have a way in and a
Yeah.
way out.
from a practical standpoint, do you need to talk to your client about that before we close the public hearing or whatever?
No,
Because we can-
we're open to
All right.
working in
I
an
just-
overhang, that has a corbel nature to it,
Mhm.
if that's agreeable to you.
And the-
um,
and
Not as
board-
ornate, but just clean.
Not as ornate.
Yep.
Yep.
And the board is saying that then the door can stay where the door is as opposed to being moved from the far right to the second window place. Is that what you're saying?
It does get moved.
Okay, if we
It does
at
get
least
moved. It does
keep
get
the
correct.
moved.
It does get-
Yeah.
I have
I'm
a
saying we're
couple
not
more
asking them to
questions. In the
change the
interest of-
plan as before.
No, compromise.
Yes, that, I'm
Compromise.
just trying to clarify for everybody.
This is
Yeah.
me, Mr. Easy. So the second thing is the bell tower. I agree. I think the bell tower, I mean, with all due respect to the owner, I don't want to insert myself in his place or her place, but the bell tower is a strange structure. That you mentioned the exterior and change, but there's not. You sort of see right. There's nothing there. It's just metal framing, really, and I don't understand. I'd at least hope that it would be enclosed into something that maybe rivals the proper cupola of the structure, but I'd rather have it off. I was just curious, just parenthetically, the existing garage, was there a second building behind that, do you know, behind the existing garage? Is that door that walks out, I guess you'd ask your maybe enemy to walk out the door.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't have any imagery of that based on our research. It appears that there was something there at some point.
Something's there,
yeah.
because there's a foundation or some sort of a footing, right?
Decking and, yeah, right now it's used as a
Yeah.
exterior deck.
I mean, I generally endorse the concept here, and I hope that they're gonna replace the fencing around the property. Is that not, I know that's not part of today's presentation, but is that a thought?
I'm actually not sure it's their fence.
It's not their fence.
And it's
But I'm sure that.
not,
it's
I mean, it's
I
not
know,
before
but
us, so-
I
I know.
wander off of
Yeah.
areas
You do
I shouldn't
occasionally.
be on, but
Trying to reel you back in.
sometimes it pays.
Yeah.
Anyway, pass that thought along to the owners about the fence. So if we've got agreement on the door, I'll,
So the door gets moved,
Mm-hmm.
the overhang stays at whatever it is, let's call it, if it's 2.5 feet, the corbels come back, but not in that ornate style. And the pediment on top probably disappears, based on,
Yeah, there will be a roof component to it.
right,
It
you're not gonna have that big white
yes.
chunk on top, that would
Yeah,
be
it's not
omitted.
going to be in the flared.
Yeah,
It'll be a different, more appropriate style
yeah,
to the house.
so very similar to this elevation, just pulled straight out with the
Mhm.
corbels.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the bell tower is an option, we're gonna leave it as an option?
give me, could you explain what you're really planning on that? You're gonna, I
On
didn't
the
quite
bell tower?
understand it, yeah.
Well, we weren't sure of the exact historical significance based off our research. We're not opposed to it. We were going to renovate it. You know, the same.
Renovated
footprint.
in what way? What do you
Um,
mean renovated?
For example, the railing would be brought up to code, so you can see in our elevations where.
Yeah,
right
you
now
show a
it's-
bell in here, and so, I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing in there right
No,
now,
there's
it's
nothing in
empty.
there. Yeah. So
And-
we show the possibility to add a bell. The goal is to make it look better.
Yeah.
And beyond paint. And what we're proposing is just replacing the MDO board that wraps the base of it with a new MDO board. Painting. Bringing it up to newer material. But the intent was for it to stay in the same location. We weren't sure how you guys were going to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think I spoke with the client at the beginning saying, what are your intentions there? And he said, well, I kinda like it, and I said, all right, I said, I think the historic would want you to keep it. So, we haven't presented to the client to say, hey, the historic doesn't care or
It's
would
not
rather
there,
you
right.
not have it,
So-
and then
It's
let
not
him make a
historically
decision.
authentic,
you know?
as
No,
Lynn
it's
has
not.
said,
Yeah.
but it's also in need of some specific attention if you're going to maintain it. And I was just curious, I'd like to know what it's going to look like. This sort of doesn't get the job done, really, in terms of telling me, looking at the plan here.
So I'll say
Is
my,
it going to have clapboard? Is it going to have louvers? What is happening up there with
just
it?
my comment on the bell tower is I think the scale is wrong for the size of the building.
Yes,
Like the, so I think that's the number one problem with the bell tower, from my perspective, whether it's original or not. I mean, I'd rather see a fake chimney put in there
Right.
for aesthetic reasons, or even a cupola put in there for aesthetic reasons, or leave it plain than have that bell tower still be there. Only if we're all in agreement that it's
She's the chairman. so
that it's
you've
not
gotta listen.
historic.
Yeah,
No, and I'm just saying, if none of you think it's really historic, and
It's
the
not.
and
If
the,
it's not, then,
It's
yeah.
not.
you know, if the client is really married to it and they want it, then that's another whole story. And
And I can't answer that, because
Yeah.
I think, I presume from the other side that,
we'd
you
want
know,
it.
if you're gonna talk about ripping that out, that may not
Right.
be a way to start this hearing.
Right,
And they may
right.
not be positive about it.
So I guess,
But how about we could, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, so we've got two options. I don't know whether you can talk to your client tonight if you want to take a 10-minute adjournment and talk to
I
them.
don't think I'm gonna get in touch with
Then,
them,
okay.
yeah.
The other option is
Come back.
we
And also
can,
put them on their spot, yeah.
Wanna come back?
so we can also continue to the next meeting and finalize it and not close the public hearing. And then you don't have to,
I don't think we have to push it.
Yeah.
I think, so in terms of it, so it's an existing structure on the house. As part of the project, are you requesting that it be removed?
so I personally don't want to go that far, but to me, it's just scale-wise,
Because
it just looks
How about,
odd to me.
can we give the option of omitting it altogether, and then if you wanna come back just
Yeah,
for that
just
with the
for-
design,
Yeah.
so we could see it and then
if
talk
we
about
were
it?
to keep it.
If you were to
we'd
keep
come
it.
back.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep it,
Right.
so it would be,
That's what
in the conditions, it
Yeah.
would be bell tower to be removed, we could talk about the front door detail in the conditions, and if you ever wanna come back
Okay.
just for that detail,
Well,
come back to the detail.
say be removed or, further proceeding to keep it. And we would come back
If-
in. Yeah, I just
Correct.
want something that's not like
Yeah.
a definitive, like it needs to be removed and we're coming in
You
trying
can't
to
put anything
reverse
back.
that decision,
No, fair enough.
as
Fair enough.
opposed to, we're just saying, it's either removed or you come back with a more detailed plan for
Right.
it.
What do you think is
Yeah, I
best?
think that's- I
Because
think-
this way you can at least move,
I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
get, start
Yeah,
finding
and-
the
So I think
And
it's
it will
something like,
give you-
it
it'll
will
give
be
you time
removed
as you're-
or, you can come back with a, more detailed description of it.
And if you
Something
come-
so it's not like viewed as if like we're trying to change a decision.
Do you
And
agree
if
with?
you opt to
I
come
agree.
come back with the door
With the door for you,
redesigned.
bring in maybe a model.
We're still in a public hearing. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to ask any questions or comment? Seeing none, is this board ready to close a public hearing and make a decision?
So moved.
We are.
All right, so Lynn has
Second
made a
the
motion to
motion.
close the public hearing. Is there a second around there?
Second.
Seconded by Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries 4-0. And Brendan?
yep, case number HH 202527, filing date September 9th, 2025, hearing date October 15, 2025, 16 Schoolhouse Road, map 14, parcel F4B. Owner on record is Mark Watson, agent Kroll and Donovan Law, LLC. Recording information, book 36593, page 226, year built 1880. Brief description of the work. The project proposes a partial demolition to demolish the existing detached garage and reconstruct, and to demolition of the first story addition to reconstruct. Historical significance is listed on the town's historic property inventory. The proposed demolition would not destroy, necessarily diminish the historic value. Determination, no demolition day imposed. Conditions, I might have you help me with the wording on the bell tower. So bell tower to be removed with the. or-
Bell tower either removed or new application
There you go. Thank you.
to,
Specific details.
for design details.
Okay, perfect.
Excellent.
And we'll do the front door after you're done writing that.
All right, so bell tower to be removed or new application to be submitted for design detail consideration. And then what else do you have, Brendan?
New front door to remain like for like to existing, without ornate detail.
to remain. Is it the same size?
I know that's the problem, it can't be like for like.
Yeah,
Is it tied to the overhang?
Yeah,
so new front door
The
to,
main entry roof overhang,
yeah.
detailing.
I'm sorry, one more time. New front door to,
New front door overhang.
Overhang,
front door, overhang,
to remain with non-ornate corbels.
to,
Yes. That works.
remain.
I know what style you're gonna do, I can see it, just
You know,
looking at it.
Replicated in similar detail.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
front
yeah.
door overhang
And,
to,
we'll
Well, we wanna make sure, like, you don't want the pediment, so no, and then also we're gonna add no pediment.
right. We'll make it appropriate.
Which is the piece on top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
replicated.
Yeah. Brackets.
so really
How
just
about if I
brackets.
say new
Yeah.
front door overhang to be replicated in similar style with less ornate corbels?
Mm-hmm,
Does that work?
that would work.
Does that make sense?
That works for me.
Mm-hmm. And with no upper pediments.
Michael, who do you think owns the fence?
I don't know, I wonder if the town from that municipal lot, maybe.
Funds on the town property, funds on the
Corbel.
bank. That's
bank
the
is on-
CORBL.
Yeah, mm-hmm,
condos.
Oh.
And no pediment?
Condos in the bank, condos on the side.
With
Small
no-
copper
with-
roof to it.
like a
yeah, of
pine.
course, yeah,
Yeah.
you'll have copper on top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
area.
yeah, that detail.
My
you can-
grandmother was one of the first to
But
them.
the front,
Okay, so what I have for conditions, bell tower to be removed,
front of the house.
No.
or a new application to be submitted for design detail consideration. New front door overhang to be replicated like existing with less ornate corbels and no pediment.
Yeah, well, no upper pediment. With an extra,
No pediment
Yeah.
upper. I'll just put
oh, no
upper.
upper or secondary pediment.
I just put upper.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
So, yeah, no, that was,
Okay, so we've got a motion by Brendan. Is there a second?
Second.
Lynn has seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Great, thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
good
much.
work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You sticking around for the next one?
I've got one more, but not
Oh,
next.
jeez.
He's not going anywhere yet. All right. Schoolhouse. Okay. The next item we have before us. HH 2025-28, Elizabeth Duggan, owner, has filed a notice of intent. The project proposes a full demolition of the dwelling. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessing records and is located at 134 Bank Street, map 23, parcel P7-0. Good evening.
Good evening.
If you could introduce yourself for us and walk through the application for us.
I'm Elizabeth Duggan. I own the property on Bank Street. It came into my family in the early 1950s. My grandparents owned it, rented out to snow-in workers. It is a structure with very little foundation. It is not heated, no insulation. It was occupied until the late 1970s, early 1980s, and since then has been unoccupied and has fallen into disrepair. We have had contractors come in to take a look at it, and in their recommendation that given the fact that there is no foundation and the state of the building, that the property is one that probably should be taken down.
So, I didn't see anything from, you don't have a report from a structural engineer or anything that's telling us that. And do you have any plans of what you're looking to put back in its place?
At this point and in the immediate future, I would not be building on the property. It would
Okay.
become green space.
Okay,
Madam Chair?
Yep.
uh,
Yep. go ahead.
We're doing a study of the houses on Bank Street for Macris, the state list, and this house is significantly historic.
Okay.
If you turn to the second page, the historic narrative does begin, and basically this house was constructed by Valentine Doan, who I think Paul can give a better history on him.
Yeah. Well, Valentine is the character, that's for sure. And a major player in Harwich Doan Road. He owned the home on, it used to be Dr. Rowley's, now the condominiums across from
Dairy Queen.
not the Burger King, the Dairy
Dairy Queen,
Queen.
yeah.
Doan Park is, and Valentine had the wharf that ran out from Witchmere, which is today Witchmere Harbor, but there was no harbor then, but the pier that ran out there was Valentine's. He's a relative of mine. So this is always the problem. The house should come down. I don't deny that. But it's tough to lose these treasures that the town has that unfortunately, as you say, no one's been there for many years, and it's kind of just by neglect, it's become unlivable, uninhabitable. So there's no good answer here. But I'll let I'll let my colleague lower the boom here.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Doan about the building is in terrible shape. But without plans, it would be tough to approve anything. Usually plans or even a structural engineer, I think it'd be tough to.
Like the plan is nothing right at this point.
The
so-
plan is
right.
nothing. We can't even weigh in on it,
Mm.
and it would probably just be a demo delay at this point.
So that's, that's what's here for consideration.
Yeah.
I mean, the alternative on that too, though, is, so the purpose of our demo delay is really for there to be options for people to try and see if there's somebody that's willing to move the house, do something with it. And that's the tough part, because that's where we typically look for something to happen, And unfortunately, you need 4 votes tonight, so, on an affirmative vote.
And can I ask about the green space?
Yes,
So is it to keep it permanently green space? Do you own the building next door, or just? Was
There is a building in the back where I reside.
Oh, there's a building in the back.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
which is not
I was wondering
historical.
about that. So that's where you live
That's
now?
where I live,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And may I ask how you're related to Denny? Is he
He's my father,
your father?
Denny, and my brother Kevin.
Okay. I know Denny.
There you go. Wow.
I hate to do this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
come with mixed emotion to request this, but I'd hate for it to fall into further disrepair.
Have you talked to anybody or any of the other organizations to see if they would be willing to give a grant to work on it, or to find someone who would take the house and fix it up?
We can certainly look into that, yes.
the hard part from my perspective is if you're living on the property and does the demolition delay, is it really doing anything for us at this point where it's just going to delay the inevitable without a replacement? I get the negotiating on the other side.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's so bad that it can't be moved, because at some point it gets to a point where it can't be moved and it can't be.
We
Well,
need a structural
Yeah.
analysis to know that.
99.99% of the time I agree with you. I'm just,
Yeah.
There's something about this one that's just not striking with me. And I know it's the location and it's,
So you have no plan at this point to rebuild a house there? So why do you want to take this action now? Just to kind of get the record in order so that if you do want to sell the property, is the property subdivided now or is it one parcel?
It's one parcel.
One parcel. So
Yes.
your property is, where you're living
Mhm.
is attached to this
Yes,
location.
yeah.
And there's not enough area there to divide the property. Is the property, no, I mean, there's not sufficient acreage
No.
there. And I don't think being common ownership, you could divide it anyway.
Because it's a non-conforming house. It looks like it's,
Right.
you know, where it's sitting so close to the property line. Once you take it down, you probably would lose that.
Yeah. Would you, well, I don't want to get it,
But
but would
anyways,
you
that's
plan
a-
to sell the house you're living in as part of a deal that was made, maybe on the property or something?
No, I have ties to community. I plan to reside at the present.
So if the property were to be demolished, the
Mhm.
building, this
Mhm.
dwelling in front, you just have more lawn to mow,
More
right?
lawn to mow, yes, yes.
So that's why there's no plan in mind, because you're not even interested necessarily in rebuilding on the site. Maybe you couldn't even rebuild, maybe you could.
so we.
This is a toughie.
It is a tough one. You know, I have mixed emotions on it because I know it's, you know, it's also tough to come before us to knock down a family
Continue
home.
it
So
for-
It is.
I respect that as well.
Why don't we continue it till next month and give us time to mull this over, figure out some way to address what you
I-
want, and yet still, we have a mandate to protect historic
Of course,
properties. What are you receptive?
If you'd like to continue for,
I would move.
until
we
next
continue
month?
The matter 1 month.
I mean, because I think in your mind, your alternative is what, to impose a demo delay?
Demolition delay, but then, I mean, we could curtail the delay if we come to some understanding. But rather than get into that, unless you're in any kind of immediacy, which you don't appear to be,
No,
let's,
So that would be my question. Do you have a contractor that's lined up that you're on a time crunch or anything like that? Okay. So our
it's
next,
been idle for what, 20 years, 25 years,
Yeah.
so another
another
week,
month, no.
another month.
yeah, but sometimes
We
when you
gotta
make those
work this out.
decisions,
We'll
you want
work
to
it
do
out.
you want to get it done too. So I do respect that. So our November meeting, I am not available for, which is the 19th. So I don't know if this board would be amenable to moving that meeting in November to a week earlier, because I don't think we've advertised anything yet.
I can do
Not a
that.
problem.
Can people do November 12th instead of,
Won't even be a month, 3 weeks.
can you do November 12th
Probably.
instead of November,
Yeah,
um,
it'd be nice if all the four of
19th.
us were here. Yeah.
so would you be available on the 12th of November?
Yes.
Okay, then I would, on that note, entertain a motion to continue until November 12th, no earlier than 6 PM.
Second?
Who's made the motion? Paul? Paul's made the motion. When
Second
has
came
seconded
first.
to continue to November 12th, no earlier. 6 p.m. Okay, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. So I would just So we'll reconvene on it in 3 weeks and go from there. All right.
Thank you
And-
for this information.
And hopefully somebody calls you and says they want to restore that house and they want to move it.
Don't go too far from the phone.
Then it solves all of our concerns, right?
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much.
Good job.
Just gonna put continue.
So we should actually save that, leave it.
I'm just leaving it. Because I see nothing.
Put that back in my
Paul, we're still in the meeting.
I know, that's right.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, thanks.
So the next item on our agenda is HH 2025-29. It's Sea and Ski Holdings LLC. Owner has filed a notice of intent through their agent, Minglewood Homes Inc. The project proposes a partial demolition to demolish a roof and add a second floor living space. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessment records and is located at 21 South Street, map 14, parcel N9-0. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Tim Smith, Minglewood Homes. This is Kyle Smith. He's project manager on this project.
Okay.
Well,
You guys
You learned-
related? You're not.
we're not, but there's a billion of us out there. Right. So I'm gonna start this with something I learned here tonight. According to the assessor's database, this is built in 1925. Therefore, it's not over 100 years old. The way your charter reads, it's supposed to be over 100 years old. So let's go with that one first. But we're prepared for everything else.
So I personally do not disagree with you on that. I think it is, the way it reads is that it's a 1924 house would fall on the 100-year list. So if this board would like to take that stance and go in that direction, I'm in agreement with that. Anybody have any
I
questions?
would say move that we determine that the project is not properly before our committee.
I do believe so, based on the way the language of the bylaw is written.
Yeah.
It says houses 100 years of age built in the year before the existing year. So that would be everything through December 31st of 1924.
Yep.
Which doesn't feel like that should be 100 years ago, but
It's fair.
It is.
And the
It
work
is,
needs
I
to be
know.
done.
it is.
Right.
So, that being the case, we're still in a public hearing. Anybody have questions? Hoping we're right.
I'm in favor of that one.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. So all of that being said, does the board have any questions, or you just want to close the public hearing and go forward?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion made by Lynn, seconded by Brendan to close the public hearing.
Neighbors.
The house over here is a brand new house.
Well,
I'm
are
sorry.
we closing the
Madam
public,
Chair.
are we ready to close the
I'm
public
doing a
hearing? Or do you
little
have questions?
sidebar.
All those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none. And Brendan, did you want to do
Sure.
something similar to the last?
Yeah, case number HH 202529, filing date August 29, 2025, hearing date October 15, 2025, 21 South Street, map 14, parcel N9. Owner on record is Sea and Ski Holdings, Inc. Agent is Minglewood Homes. Recording information, book 3555, page 350, year built 1925. The project proposes a partial demolition to demolish the roof and add a second floor space. The historical significance is not listed on the town's historic property inventory.
So it's really just the building's not historically significant. then,
Correct, I'm
because-
sorry, the building is not historically significant.
and then
Right,
we
I'm
wanna-
sorry, it's the second one, I had that checked off.
Yeah, and we want to put the caveat that, board believes the building is not part of the is not covered by the bylaw.
Existing bylaw, correct. Thanks for doing that.
Give me a second.
Very rare to get a house that's gonna come down and not go back up.
Well, that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
The proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish any historic significance. Determination, no demolition delay period imposed with no conditions.
Okay, so we have a motion that's been made by Brendan, seconded by
Second.
Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank
We
you.
were ready.
We were. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
One more?
Same issue, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's,
It can.
One more case there?
so come on up.
Like, hey,
I
yeah.
think, because I think are you next? I think you are next, aren't you?
Aren't we at the
Oh,
end?
it's you're correct, I'm sorry. So, HH 2025-30, JB Real Estate Holdings LLC, owner has filed a notice of intent through their agent P. Barnard Builder LLC. The project proposes a partial demolition to remove aluminum cladding, replace cedar shingles, install new wood trim, install a new roof, and remove a rear chimney. The structure is over 100 years old, according to the town assessing records, and is located at 702 Route 28, map 15, parcel K1-8. Good evening. Thanks for hanging in with us tonight. It's
A
a,
long night.
it's a long meeting.
We gotta wait.
I'm going out for a drink.
It's a long
So
meeting.
am I. I like that Tim Smith got through here in about 4 minutes. That was awesome. And I will remember that.
We tried.
I've got a whole
We do
agenda
try.
to get to this committee
What
tonight.
happened to my pen? Here's my pen. Okay, so if you could also walk us through your application, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
I have a lot of stuff going on at this house. So basically, it's the Freedom Ferry house. It's right across the street from Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
The house has had a lot of work done to it over, not that long ago, probably the last 40 or 50 years. The front of the house is clad with aluminum siding. All the trim around the house is clad with aluminum siding. Some of the trim was replaced at some point with composite trim, and it's got clear cedar shingles all around it that are kind of, they're at the edge of their life, basically. So what we are proposing to do is to strip all the aluminum siding off, retrim the building with the exact sizing that's on there, and re-shingle and re-roof, basically. There is a chimney, there's an old chimney from a boiler at the rear of the house on an addition that's now a laundry room. That is, I believe it's CMU. It's just a cinder block chimney that is not in use. We'd just like to take that down to the roof line.
Oh, the old Scannell house.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to take it down to the roof line and close it up, basically, leave the flue inside, or we don't even, any plans to remove it. So it's the exterior of the building, basically. We do have a permit that's active for the interior. We're redoing the kitchen and the bathroom right now. And I'll be back in front of you next month because the wheelhouse that's out in front, I applied to remove it, and I have to come back to talk to you guys about a wheelhouse that's been there since 1994, I think, to get your permission to remove it from the property.
So I just have one question.
My wife thought maybe you were gonna use that like as a playhouse or something.
It would be a great playhouse for
Yeah.
somebody. The problem is, in order to move it, it's steel.
Yeah.
It needs to be hoisted onto a wide trailer and escorted wherever it's going to go. So I actually came to see the new building commissioner to ask her what she wanted. They asked me to apply. I did. I had to get a fire department approval. And so they know what date, we're gonna cut it up basically and remove it.
Is
So
the
you're
house
looking to
used-
remove this chimney,
That's
the
chimney,
tall one,
yeah.
Way in
as
the back.
opposed to this.
Yeah,
as opposed
that's
to
an
this.
active chimney, we don't wanna touch that, we wanna touch the new one.
All right.
Yeah.
How
All right.
used for employees of the ferry or something?
No, the
What is the
gentleman,
purpose
the
of it?
gentleman that owns it, Jack Sheeran, who owns the Freedom Ferry,
Yeah,
he used to use that
As
to
a
house
chick-
employees,
okay.
but he now will be using the house as his residence here in the summertime,
Okay.
while the ferry's active. So we're gonna do some other work around there to kinda, it's very livable now, but we're replacing the kitchen. The kitchen was probably done in the,
Yeah.
was built in the 60s maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the bathrooms just needs a little upgrade basically. He's having all the carpets replaced, things like that.
So, and then the other part of the property gets kind of redone? I mean, it used to be parking, right now.
It's gonna remain parking
is it?
because I think per the planning board, he has to have a certain amount of overnight parking there so that his clients aren't clogging up Saquatucket's
It's
parking
probably
lot.
part of an existing site plan,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot, there's a lot to that piece of property.
Brendan, any questions?
No questions.
Lynn?
Nope.
Paul, anything else?
And I have none.
All right. I'm assuming you don't have any questions. I'm trying to be consistent. All those in favor of closing the public hearing?
So
Oh,
moved.
let's take a motion to close the public hearing
So
first.
moved.
Yes.
So
Paul's
moved.
made a motion,
Second.
Brendan seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. And then Brendan, would you mind
Very
doing?
question.
Sure. Case
Decision.
number
I don't know if I
HH
can-
2025
Gave
30.
me
Mhm.
Filing date September 11,
2 tickets to
2025.
Nantucket
Hearing
that I
October
never
15,
used.
2025.
How long is that?
702 Route
Well,
28,
you know,
map
I don't think
15,
they-
So I have
parcel
to use it this
K1-8.
Paul,
Season's over.
it's just, they're not gonna be able to hear him doing the motion on the recording,
Owner
sorry.
of record, JB Real Estate
Don't know.
Estate Holdings LLC. Recording information, book 31267, page 155, year built 1800. Demolition proposed partial. The project proposes a partial demolition to remove aluminum cladding, replacing cedar shingles, installing new wood trim, install a new roof, and remove the rear chimney. The historical significance, it is listed on the town's historic property inventory.
Okay.
Proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish the historic value. Determination, no demolition delay period imposed with no conditions.
All right, so we've got a motion by Brendan. Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Let Paul second.
Second the
You do
motion.
rock, paper, scissors, who wants it?
You can have it.
Brendan's made the motion, Paul seconded, all in favor.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. 4-0.
Much more powerful down here than I was in Boston.
15, 20, 25, and hopefully I didn't miss one tonight. Because meetings like this, I miss one and then I get in trouble. Okay, you are all set, sir.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you as
Good
well,
luck.
thank
See you on
you.
the 12th, hopefully.
All right. So, we're gonna skip over the meeting minutes for now and jump to, the discussion on the carriage house at 24 Pilgrim Road. Come on forward.
Michael, since this is your fourth time, just so you know, Bill would have already
What are we
told us
doing?
2 awesome stories.
I know.
So I'm hoping
You
you
gotta-
saved a good story for us.
You're gonna have to start coming up with some.
Yeah, go on.
So I'll just start by saying, this application is very similar to the others, except without a real application, because I think in general, when somebody's not covered, I think some of those didn't have to file applications tonight. Typically, when things like this have come before us, because I think you're before us on the garage and not the main house.
Right.
So in that situation, when something's on the inventory list as an address, we have always required the application come before us because it's an existing building on an address that's already before us, and then we make the determination that the garage was newer or the outbuilding is newer and not part of it, but the address stays on. This is a little different because I think this is the same situation where the Pilgrim Road actually isn't even listed on our list yet from what we see. So the property address isn't there, and there's a question over, I think it was again the question over whether it was whether it was 1924 or 1925, and then the carriage house they believe is newer, correct?
Yeah, so that the, I have, this is probably overkill at this point, but I didn't realize it. So the property, you see the property card's on there, so the property card lists the main house as being 1925.
Yep.
And it lists the carriage house as being 1930. So even if you went by the main house, it's 25, and as we figured out tonight, 25 doesn't cut it. So there's really no way this could be, if 25, a lot of that's there saying, if 25 you thought you did have jurisdiction, then we'd be arguing, well, the carriage house is 1930, so that doesn't matter, but the precursor here, I think, doesn't matter, it's 25. So it kind of got caught in the confusion of, is it 24 or 25? So we already went and got a special permit from ZBA, and we're ready to build. And then they went to do a demolition, and they said, oh, wait, it's 25, if it's 100 years, you gotta go historic. That's why we ended up here on this one, even though we had filed on the other ones to clarify what it is. So
And my understanding originally was that that it was on the list.
Right, yeah,
And
I
then-
think that she
and
thought
then-
it was, yeah.
Yeah, and then later found out that it wasn't
It's
actually
not.
on the list.
Yeah.
So that's why it's here before us without kind of the typical application, but I think it is rightly before us without the typical application, because I don't think it's,
So you're looking for the 18-month delay, is that right?
yeah, that's exactly what he's looking for. You'd be the first one, right, Paul?
I want to put that on somebody, and I think I know who it's going to be.
Give one out.
It's all good.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so we're looking for a ruling that there's no jurisdiction here.
So ruled.
So I don't disagree. Is everybody comfortable with that? All right, so then I think through this communication
Is this Al Payne?
to our
Is
assistant
Al
Lisa
Payne
that it is
the owner of this property?
always,
No, I don't think.
Buildings-
Well, I should say that we only went.
Nope, that's
to a
okay.
certain point.
I just want to say, it's our understanding and our communication back to Lisa, who is our assistant in the office, that people that need to do applications are the year prior to the existing year. So if they're telling us it says 1925, in calendar 25, an application is not necessary. In calendar 20, if it was calendar 24 built, 1924 built, in 1925, in 2025, then yes. So we,
7 weeks left, so I mean.
exactly, no, exactly.
It still makes
Um,
a difference.
But it will make a it'll make a difference to a lot of people next year as well, right? So,
Probably got 10 things up his sleeve in the next 10 weeks.
10 weeks, yeah.
It's a
but again,
career.
I don't think
Real work.
Yeah, sure.
there wasn't part of this that was relative to the house anyway at this point.
Yeah. So
And actually, the
something-
25 house, yeah, if it was the house in 1925
Five, it
in
would still be-
January, then it would be an issue.
this upcoming January.
Right,
Right,
January
correct.
2026, it'll be an issue.
Yep.
But the board is in general agreement that the 1930, there is no jurisdiction to place a demolition delay on a carriage house that was built in 1930 on the property at 24 Pilgrim Road, which is not on our list and is also built in 1925. Is that
So moved.
general consensus? Okay. So, I think you're fine. If we need to
So you'll
communicate that,
send something
we'll
to Lisa
communicate that.
Shaw
Yep,
or whatever, 'cause
We'll
that's who we
communicate that to
kind of
building.
alerted us that we got
Yeah.
demolition permit got held up.
yeah, I'll send a note to her.
Okay, great.
And I'll put here, that,
So we're not voting on anything.
no demo delay jurisdiction over carriage house.
And so we'll get an email, that copy on that email, it's just so something I have in my file that no one comes out of the
Well,
woodwork
yeah.
when you all get hit by a bus. in the
Yeah,
next few
yeah,
months.
yeah. Well, it's recorded if nothing
Oh,
else,
that's
so
true,
you're
yeah.
good.
Okay.
I'll send her that note, and then, if we need to, we'll draft a letter to the building inspector.
Okay.
Or I'll just send it up to the building inspector saying that.
So
that
we're all
we-
set.
that
Yeah,
we-
and then they'll get the permission.
Can- So, just for the record, just somebody want to make that motion that we have no jurisdiction?
So moved.
So Paul's made the motion,
Second,
seconded by Lynn.
my turn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Motion carries
Okay,
4-0.
great.
So we
Excellent.
formalized it just in
Thanks
case.
so much.
The rest of the
Great
day off.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Take care.
The rest of the day off, yeah.
So I'm not sure with number 1 here with, or number 2 here with the discussion regarding the West Baptist Church, because that had,
Well, I think we should take a victory lap here because
well,
of the demolition delay, the
right,
process is
but-
resolved
but
satisfactorily.
the point was,
The church has been,
Paul was gonna, he was gonna come in. I thought he wanted to come in and speak to
John.
us. John was gonna,
John.
right, sorry.
John,
I'm
can
looking
we-
at-
John,
yeah, he
well,
wants
I've
to come
got,
in.
yeah, are we on that topic?
Yes.
The next agenda?
Yeah.
'Cause I've got several things here.
It was on this, he was
John
gonna,
Kerry wants to be on there.
yes,
Yes.
right.
and I don't know, maybe it wasn't communicated to him, because we made a. I
I've
made
told
a-
him, I've told John he needs to apply.
No, but I amended the agenda so that he could come before us tonight, and I don't know if that didn't get, if he didn't get that back, if that
No,
didn't get
I
communicated
think
back.
he's
to him.
expecting to be on the November agenda,
Oh.
not October.
Okay,
I think that was his.
He
sent
wasn't
you
aware
email?
that he had to come before us.
Hold on, I got the email handy.
I thought he wanted to come in and just talk to us first, so that
did
was,
originally, but then I told him, you don't need to come in and talk to us about that. What you need to come and talk to us about is the fact that you got a CPC proposal.
Hmm.
And CPC requires.
he
that
needs to
you-
do that
He's
as
looking
well,
for a
correct?
letter of support from us.
Right,
Right,
so that's why that's what he'll be in for in November.
right, which was what I thought he was gonna do tonight.
I would be happy to attend your next meeting to present the project in more detail to answer any questions you may have.
So I thought we were doing that tonight,
No.
so okay, we'll
Huh.
just put
No.
that on for November.
Yeah.
But I do have you pass that down to the chair. That's my letter for the CPC membership. I sent a copy, but I didn't know how they get them out to the membership. I'm just writing in support of the proposal.
Oh, okay, we can,
So that's for
is
you personally. I gave
Yeah.
one to our other member.
okay,
Speaking of CPC, I hear my
Yeah.
name's supposed to be put before,
before
but there
the select board.
there hasn't been any discussion here.
So, okay,
You gonna take that on?
Well, he can't, you can't, he can't.
Yeah.
She could, she's a, so
Whatever.
it's
Yeah, you got
me.
too much. Yeah, you're on it. Yeah.
so, did we not vote that at a meeting? I thought we voted at a meeting. We had voted Paul,
We
and then I
voted
thought,
Paul.
and then we never
No, what
voted.
happened was they said, wait a minute, you can't, I'm on the charter commission, they meet the same night,
Oh, okay.
so we
Yeah, but I
can't.
thought we had put it on
Well, I
the
missed
last.
one meeting.
Maybe
And that's
that's,
when we picked her.
that
The
could be.
meeting she
No.
missed, we agreed to
I
appoint
just-
Lynn.
I thought I honestly thought we did.
Well, I
Let me
haven't
look.
heard a word
No, I
from
don't
anybody
think-
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah, as a matter of
You don't think we did?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then I gotta put it on an agenda.
I'm sure
Yeah, I
we
don't
did
think
it.
If you
I-
weren't
I'm-
here, I
Yeah,
don't think we would have done it.
So,
It was,
so we can
Because
put it on for November 12th.
it's fine.
We don't really vote until February anyway on these applications.
It's fine.
So you can still just watch and attend until you're, if you,
Sworn into it.
right. So we can do that. And
As
Paul,
long
I
as
will
somebody
bring up,
tells me when we meet.
we meet the second, well, we meet a lot. Now,
Thursday.
we meet the
Yeah.
second Thursday of every month, but right now we're gonna go into heavy sessions and do more than that because it's application season. So we'll have multiple Thursday
If she
nights.
were to come in, if Lynn were to come in after you start the application process,
No, she can still,
she
yeah.
can still vote? Okay,
Yeah,
just want to make
yeah,
sure, because
yeah.
if not, you might as well just skip that whole process.
Yeah, it's
And
not
just
a,
go in January or
yeah, it's
something.
not a permitting
Okay.
situation where,
Okay, just
like,
curious, yeah.
these
Good,
are
good.
permitting boards, it's
Well, thanks for
different.
doing that.
Just let me know when I need to start showing up.
Yeah, well, you will get the letter from the select board, so we'll just, through this meeting, ask Lisa to make sure that that goes on the next agenda. And,
On the,
and then can we move?
on the minutes, there's 2 misspellings of my name.
Okay.
And I totally forgot I was supposed to have a list of the Revolutionary houses.
Oh, listen, we've had a long
Yeah, so.
night, so
Let's put that off till next month.
that works for me. And you need spelling changes on the minutes?
Yeah, motion, my name is.
With an E, correct?
Zalesak. It's spelled correctly everywhere else. It's there and it's down under, in the next
Well, we've got Lynn
section.
without an E as well.
Oh, yeah, well, that needs an E in both of those. So, these 2 here, first name needs an E, last name needs to be spelled correctly.
You want a
C-A-L-E-S-A-K.
motion?
Give me 1 second, I just wanna make sure I get them all.
Here.
That one, second one, vote. Oh, there it is.
You know, we need to be accurate.
Is that the only place?
Those are the only 2 I found.
All right,
It's almost like somebody different.
I
typed it
know.
in there.
right? It's a typo that got carried through somehow, copies and pasted and whatever else. So yes, Brendan, we'll take a motion.
A motion to approve the July 16, 2025 meeting minutes. With 3 corrections of Lynn's name. 4 corrections of Lynn's name.
Second the
Motion's
motion.
been made by Brendan, seconded by Paul, to approve with 4 corrections of Lynn's name. All right, so motion's been made by Brendan, seconded by Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, so, are we in agreement to postpone the war plaques discussion?
Yes.
And the preservation award, do we want to put that till the 12th?
Well, I'd like to present something. We can
Okay,
delay it till the 12th, but what I've done, Brenda and I have kind of informally talked, but we were going to get together, and then I didn't want to get in violation of any open meeting law, so we didn't
Yeah.
really meet about the subcommittee. But I have put together a little packet here that I wanted to pass out. It just is a draft. This is basically excerpted from the Chatham, but modified for our purposes. So I would pass out these little handouts for your review. I think all of you have the original draft, but I'll submit this as well into evidence. This is, again, a background on this. To advise the committee, I don't know whether you've got any update, Madam Chair, but
I have not. So, there's been discussion with administration that Paul's petition didn't have money associated with it, so there was some question as to whether we have the authority to go forward and move. I have some thoughts on that as far as how we can go about just correcting that, and frankly, part of it is, my thought is that we ignore the petition entirely and just vote as a board to enact a historic preservation
that's what they told me in Chatham to do.
Award.
Forget the tent.
and go forward with that, and then, you know, our monies would be available to us. So we've had some discussions back and forth on that matter, so that's still up in the air, so,
On that point, Madam Chair, what I've done in that proposal before you there, in terms of the language of the draft nominations of it, I've done two things specifically addressing that. One is, I don't have it closed at this time. I'm hoping to do it in a future year, but until we get town meeting approval and go through all those gymnastics, I've suggested that there is no application fee.
so number one, I don't think we need town meeting approval for any of it. We are a board,
Okay,
and we
well,
have, and I don't see why
have
we.
funds and
I don't see why, my thought on the matter is that if we want to issue a historic preservation award, I don't see why that isn't within our purview as the HDHC. So, that's my initial thought on the matter. We're looking into it further. And I think, and I think if we take a vote to actually do that, it may clear up some of the issues that have been raised as far as the petition is concerned. And I can't swear to any of that yet, but it's my initial thought. So haven't abandoned that thought. But again, an application fee, as you and I discussed, I think, just some background, Paul had thought maybe an application fee would cover the cost of the plaque. And that's simply not how it works. Any fees taken in by the town have to go in the general fund. They're considered a general fund deposit like all others would be. So it's not like it's in an enterprise fund or a receipts reserved for appropriation kind of account that we could target that money for a plaque. And we're not talking large dollars, so I can't see why, that would be a real
And I think it
a
would
real
also discourage
issue.
people if we had an application fee for
So I think
an award.
I think the best idea is to go through some of what Paul gave us today
Yeah.
and look at those and be ready to discuss them on the 12th, maybe?
Fine.
If that works?
That's good. I do want to make sure we keep on track, because the plan would be to get nominations and try to get
Yeah.
maybe an appointee in the spring or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I did want to raise two other questions. One is, being a member of the Charter Commission, we really haven't talked about, so I'd like to put on the agenda for next meeting in November, that we at least discuss, and I have here a proposal to consider. We have two sections in the charter that apply to the Historic District Commission. It's all in section 7. We're number 9 of the committees that address, so we're 7.9, and 9.1 is a section that talks about the size of the commission, and 2 is simply saying that we have the authority given to us by various sources, the general laws, the Charter Commission bylaws, and so forth. So those are the two proposals, which are kind of minor in terms of any kind of meaningful effect, but I did have a suggestion that we consider, because this is a great opportunity for us to kind of rework things that may not be working. And one of them is a limited attendance here and the ability to get members on this commission. And I have a question related to that.
So I'll tell you, one of my concerns is when they made, so there were some changes made to the composition that was in the bylaw versus the charter, and they made changes to bylaws and never changed the charter on things like no less than 3, no more than 7, or no less than.
That's
which-
charter language.
Which I personally think you have a number.
Yeah.
You have a
and
number.
I have a number now. So
And-
what I'm proposing, we say, is to strike that provision that says not less than 3, no more than 7, and 5 alternates. We can't even get 5 members.
You can't get
let
5
alone
members.
5
No,
alternates.
I don't disagree with
So
you.
what I've suggested here is that we consider saying that in the charter, which overrules the bylaws, consisting of 5 members and 1 alternate. And to that point, when I look at the Mass General Law statutes relative to historic district voting, it really seems to say to me that if the quorum is established at a meeting, that the majority of the members that constitute that quorum are sufficient for passage.
So I think,
Not the number that would be the majority if all of the seats were full. It's only what seats are full that night. And if they qualified for a quorum. So, for example, tonight,
so see, I look at it, so we can ask council for clarification on that. To me, we're a permitting board, so like a planning board, whether there are, regardless, on a planning board, you need 4 or you need 5 on a special permit
That's
or
why,
or a subdivision. And I look at us as a permitting board, like a planning board or a zoning board of appeals, which is why we've been consistent in doing it that way.
well, with all due respect, that's not seemingly what the Mass General laws say.
So, but don't forget, we're not only a historic district commission, we're also a historic commission. So we do have permitting authority, whereas some historic commissions might not, but a historic district
Yes.
commission
Well,
would.
that's what basically the general laws are referring to in more cases than
Yeah.
not, the district commissions. But the point being that, for example, tonight, we have a sufficient number for a quorum, 4.
Mhm.
We had a person before us who I was planning to vote against. Under the rules we tend to operate under, she would have needed all 4 of us.
Mhm.
My sense is she doesn't. She only needs a majority of those who are attending.
So we can ask,
So it could have been 3 to 1, and she would have passed. It would have passed.
so we can certainly ask council for clarification on that. I can tell you that since at least 2016, when I started on this board, that is how we've operated.
But isn't it always just sort of like, well, we need 4 votes to pass, so it's not really a question of, well, it needs 4 if you've got 7. It's like the old argument, well, it takes 8 Republicans to stand to get a roll call. Well, it only requires 8 if there are 40 members in the Senate. If there are only 32 at the Senate when the vote is called, we don't need 8 to get a roll call. We only need 7 because it's only 1/8.
It's participating. Right, but that's different than, so from my perspective, it's different than a permitting board where like a zoning board of appeals or a board of health or a
Well,
planning board.
with the exception that in those cases, they specifically state that you need this number of votes to get for a certain type, but not with the historic district.
So,
It would be as simple as just knocking it down to, you're saying 3, you can't do the quorum.
But the problem
Well-
is solved really if we
well,
adopt.
no, because if
we
you're,
get this
because
in
what Paul's saying, what if your quorum becomes, so if we're a 5-member board, a quorum becomes 3, which
3.
means 2 people can pass
In his
in his scenario.
scenario, which, right, you could have 3 people show up and 2 people pass it. Because you're asking for
Out
two,
of a
he's
5-member
asking
board.
for 2 things,
a
right?
5.
Right.
Well, I mean, the
Yeah.
charter now allows us to have a 3-member board, which is.
But we're not.
But we're not.
Yeah, we're.
But-
from-
But
No, I get it now, it's just I was making sure
Yeah.
you're asking for 2
Yeah.
separate things.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
so I think it's worth. But my point being that I think we have an opportunity here. And this is one thing, but maybe there's something else that we're aware of that could be appropriately placed in the
Yeah, so
charter.
we should put it on the next agenda, really.
Yeah,
And,
let's
and-
talk
and this is
about
a
that.
recent thing, we've been, I mean, the last 5-6 years, we've been pretty solid with,
Question.
with everyone that's been in here, but it's just been recently and,
With all the other permitting boards, is there one rule that's basically established for all the permitting boards concerning this, or does each board get to establish their own rule?
So,
according to the
that would be in the
charter?
charter, right?
so
Yeah.
it's really, typically, in my experience, is primarily on a planning board, we have, your requirement is based as a majority of the body as constituted when it's a permitting board. And that's been my experience, and other council might disagree, so.
That could be a general law provision, but our general law sort of doesn't follow that pattern.
So I will say that changed since I started on this board, because originally we were a 7-member board with 2 alternates is how it originally, I think, started, or a 9-member board with 2 alternates,
Well,
so.
the charter here
Right,
from
but Paul, they changed-
2005, though, but this is 2006 charter, and it says 3 to 7 with 5 alternates.
I'm not sure that wasn't, I thought that was changed.
Let me
Since
check,
I've been
because
here.
there are amendment dates here.
Guys,
But
it's
I don't,
13.
I don't,
Yeah, and I really don't want to, we can look at it next time, Paul.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
And I'll take a look, but I do remember some of those changes going on town meeting
now,
floor.
there was an
I
amendment in 2022 and
Yeah.
one in 2017.
And that's when I think that change actually got made.
Okay.
But we can look
Well,
at
let's
it.
discuss it. in
We'll put it on the
November.
next agenda,
Okay.
all right? Before we go, we need to sign the
Oh, yes.
preservation restriction.
I've
Yeah.
signed it. I was
So you
very
can leave.
prompt, by the way, Madam Chair, and I
Is that your pen?
mowed it up
No,
to
no,
Town
okay.
Hall. You want a pen?
I would say if I could have if you guys have my packets, if you're gonna throw them away, I'll take them back.
Did I?
Oh,
My packet for 25
Thanks.
was like it.
I gave you mine, right?
Maybe. What am I doing?
You gotta sign next to your name.
You want your petition?
He wants his packet.
We're gonna review that again?
So,
This time I'm gonna vote against it, so I don't think I'd bring it up, Brendan.
Right, exactly.
Known as double
Paul, you've
jeopardy.
There you go.
and we need your signature on those.
Here, well, you can have yours back.
And then, as you folks had discussed, Mr. Mann has tendered a resignation. He's unfortunately unable to attend our during the week meetings, so we thank him for the attempt, but when he
Yeah.
is available to actually start coming to meetings, we would happily entertain his participation.
He doesn't understand how exciting these are.
It's exciting.
Is that all I
Nights
have to do,
like
just
tonight.
sign the top?
2 hours, 15
Just your name
minutes.
up top, yeah. The notary doesn't miss. That's what I've noticed. It's
Make
great.
sure I signed in the right place, now that you say that.
Just on top, right? That's it.
Yeah, no, the notary signs below, yeah.
So we've got John Kerry for the agenda, right, for next time?
Yeah,
And,
that was already discussed, I had already discussed that with him.
Preservation.
Yep,
And
and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
moved.
Oh,
there a
I have one
second?
more matter,
Okay,
and that is, don't you think it's our responsibility to either inquire of the building department or take our own initiative and ask those entities that are violation of the sign bylaw, as far as our sign bylaw in the district is concerned, to come before us? Because, let me just say, I don't want to mix church and state, but the church has put up several items up there that are
Yep.
totally
Yeah.
gimmicky kind of things.
so
mean,
I absolutely think we can ask the building inspector to look at that. I will say the building department has been severely overloaded with, no, I mean, I think they've been
Yeah, well, they've
severely
been overloaded,
overloaded and there's been a lot of changeover up there and, you know, I think they're doing the best they can with a lot of it. We do have a new building inspector, we certainly can ask.
Because we
to,
have, and you folks are, put in as well,
Yep.
prospective CVC member, but you've got a violation right next door here, and you've got a violation up at Brooks Academy.
Yep.
Well, they put that kind of a permanent type sign.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, we had talked about it and I don't think we ever gave a thought to the sign issue in the district at the time. So, I mean, it was more a matter of calling attention to all of the money that was being put into those historic buildings so that the public would understand that that's where their tax dollars were going. That was
Right.
the thoughts behind it. But, yeah, we can do all of those things. So, We have a motion on the floor. Was there a second to,
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn.
Aye and goodbye. Actually, I'm gonna grab my application, because my